Hello, dear students. Today I'm going to explain to you the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, written by George Leslie Norris. This poem is there in your grade 10th curriculum of the CBSE English, and I'm going to explain to you the following things. At the onset, I'll introduce the poet. I'm also going to give you the central idea of the poem. We will also go through the line-by-line explanation of the poem. And at the end, I will convey the value points, the key message which the poet wanted to convey through this poem. So let's get started. Now, if we have to introduce the poet, let me tell you that George Leslie Norris was a Welsh poet, a Welsh famous short story writer, as well as he was a very famous poet. Now, by the term Welsh poet, what we mean is that he was from the United Kingdom, and people who are from the United Kingdom, actually Wales is a part of the United Kingdom, and authors from the United Kingdom, they are often referred to as Welsh poet. So George Leslie Norris was also from the Wales, he was from South Wales, and he was often referred as the Welsh poet. He was in fact one of the most important Welsh writers of the post-war period. He was born in 1921 in South Wales, and he died in the year 2006. Now, what is the central idea of the poem? The central idea of the poem is freedom. In this poem, the poet talks about a tiger who is in a cage. Now, the tiger is not free to move, and he is restricted to its boundaries. He's confined to his cage. And just like every human, every individual, even the tiger values his own freedom. His freedom is very precious to him. Therefore, he desires to go out of the cage, but unfortunately, he is confined. So he feels suffocated. He feels claustrophobic, because he always wants to roam freely in the jungle, which is its habitat. Now, we all are very used to our own habitat. For a tiger, the tiger's habitat is a jungle. This is the central idea of the poem, and through this poem, the poet wants to convey the pain, the apathy of the tiger because he's confined to his cage. Now, let us read the poem stanza by. This is the first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. Now the tiger roams inside his cage, and when he roams inside his cage, the tiger has a striped body. The stripes are visible because they are very clear. The stripes are very visible from outside the cage. And when the tiger walks, he doesn't make any noise. The reason being, his feet are like pads of velvet, and they do not make any sound. Not only that, even the cage where the tiger has been confined to is very small. And because of that, it can be covered in just a few steps. Angry inside his cage. The tiger is extremely furious. However, the tiger doesn't express his anger because he is confined to his cage and he has no way to express his anger. This is the explanation of the first stanza. The meaning of stalks is roams. The meaning of vivid is clear. Pads of velvet white refers to the feet of the tiger, which are as soft as velvet. So therefore, when he walks inside his cage, he doesn't make any noise. There is absolutely no sound. And at the end of the first stanza, the poet also clearly expresses the fact that the tiger is very angry, is terribly angry. However, he's quiet at the same time because there is no option for him to do anything. He cannot come out of the cage because he has been confined. He has been restricted to its boundaries. In the second stanza, the poet has explained the fact that this is not the place the tiger should have been. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where the plump deer pass. So the tiger is supposed to be in his habitat. The tiger is supposed to be in his habitat, and the tiger is unfortunately confined to his cage. So where is the tiger ideally supposed to be? He should be in the jungle, and he should be hiding in shadow. Now, the word shadow refers to the dark areas of the forest where the tiger can hide himself. And the tiger needs to hide because the main motive of the tiger is to hunt its prey. And for that, the tiger needs to hide behind the dark areas of the forest. So, lurking means hiding. Shadow refers to the dark areas of the forest. The tiger should be sliding through long grass. The tiger should be behind the long grass near the water hole where the plump deer pass. So the tiger is supposed to be near the water hole. Now, the water hole is a place in the forest. It's like a depression where the water collects. And the tiger always is seen around this area because this is the place where he can easily hunt its prey. The tiger would love to feast on its prey, and the tiger's favorite prey is the deer which is plump and healthy, a fleshy deer. The tiger would love to feast on its prey. So this is the place near the water hole. One may find the plump deer, and the tiger hides behind the long grass so that the tiger can catch its prey. So this is the kind of life the tiger is supposed to lead. He should be in the forest, in its habitat, hunting and eating its prey. This is the way God has created the tiger. But unfortunately, the tiger is not living his life in that way. He is confined and he is not at all happy with his life. In the third stanza, the poet has said that where the tiger should live and how the tiger should lead his life. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. The tiger should be roaring around houses at the jungle's edge. Now, at the jungle's edge refers to the outskirts of the jungle. The outskirts of the jungle is where the tiger is at times found, and he is roaring at times around the houses because he's trying to frighten the people. The tiger is meant to frighten others. This is how the tiger has been created by God. The tiger is known for its power. The tiger is known for its strength. So the tiger should be roaring around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs. The white fangs refers to the teeth, the white teeth of the tiger, and thereby scaring the villagers. The tiger should be terrorizing, frightening the villagers with the help of by displaying his white teeth, his claws, and he should be snarling or he should be roaring around the houses because the tiger is meant to frighten. It is a majestic creature as created by God, and it is supposed to exhibit its strength. In the next stanza, the poet has again brought us to the reality that unfortunately the tiger is not in its habitat, but the tiger is locked, is confined, is caged in a concrete cell. The concrete cell refers to the cage of the tiger. Concrete means something which is built with the help of cement, sand, bricks, and so on. So therefore, the tiger is not amidst nature. See, the poet has tried to bring out the difference between nature and something which is absolutely different from nature. The tiger is locked in a concrete cell, and his strength is behind bars. Means his strength and power and his ferociousness is hidden. He is walking the length of his cage. Stalking means walking up and down. The tiger is so upset The tiger is so angry that he walks up and down his cage with anger and pays no heed to the visitors. Visitors over here are referred to the people, the tourists, the people who come to visit the wild animals who are locked inside the cage. And the tiger is not at all in a mood to welcome his visitors. Rather, the tiger pays no heed to the visitors. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. The last stanza brings out the pathos, the apathy of the tiger. The tiger is in despair. He has no hope of coming out of his cage once again and live his life in the midst of nature. So at night, when everybody is asleep, the tiger hears the last voice at night. The last voice at night refers to the zoo officials who come out to check at night whether all the animals are safe or not. You can say that they are kind of the security of the zoo because they need to check if the animals are in their place, whether they are safe, and all that things they need to check on a daily basis. So the tiger is awake even when it is very late and everybody is asleep. The tiger is awake and the tiger is able to hear the last voice at night. And the tiger stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. The tiger gazes at the stars and he wonders that when he can acquire his own freedom. The eyes of the tiger at night, they shine like those brilliant stars. The eyes are very brilliant, they are very bright. Just like the stars, the eyes of the tiger are also very bright. And at the end of the poem, the poet conveys the fact that the tiger wishes deep down in his heart that when can I be free again? So this is the poem all about, my dear children, and I have helped you with the line by line explanation of the poem. Now let us understand the key points of the poem. Okay, so in this poem, what the poet has tried to express is he has tried to say that freedom of all living beings is extremely important. We all value freedom, whether it's a bird in a cage or whether it's a wild animal inside a cage. Every animal, every individual values his or her own freedom, and we all need to be sensitive to this fact. Every creature is unique and beautiful. By describing the tiger, the poet has also highlighted the fact that the tiger is a beautiful creature because it has a very clear striped body. The poet is in awe because of its power, its strength, and this has completely impressed the poet. So every creature is unique and beautiful. Every creature has a right to live in its own way. The tiger wishes to come out of the cage and live his life as he has always been used to. He wants to be around the jungle. He wants to scare people. He wants to display his strength and power, his ferociousness, and this is how he wants to live his life. The poet also highlights the fact that caging of wild animals, it leads to the disturbance of ecological balance. So therefore, we all need to be sensitive to this fact that wild animals also, they would love to be in their own surroundings, in their habitat. And finally, the main point of the poem is nobody likes bondage and slavery. Just like we enjoy our own freedom, this can also be applicable to any other animals or any other creature. So nobody enjoys, if you are enslaved, if you're confined to one place, it is never a good thing for a person or even an animal to live a life like this. So these are the key points of the poem. Now, if you have any further queries, my dear children, you can mail me at info@nellyscreation.com. Now, I have uploaded the entire study material of this poem in my personal website, which is www.nellyscreation.com. So I would request all of you, if you have a problem, you can refer to the paraphrase, the question answers, which I have uploaded on my website. That was all for this poem, and I will be coming back again with another explanation. If you want me to explain any particular lesson, any particular writing skill, which is as a part of CBSE curriculum of the grade 9th and 10th, you can write to me in the comments. Thank you, and bye-bye. Take care.